Let this window pop up. Good morning, Vincent. Glad to have you in chat today. Good morning, Todd. How you doing? Let us know if everything sounds okay. If you get any doubled audio or anything like that, you let us know in chat because we are flying by
Ready.
the seat of our chair. There's Alex. He's ready. Had to get him a drink of water there. So we got our old faithful Todd in the chat, and then Mr. Vincent, an old friend of mine from Mississippi that's moved on to bigger and greater things in the weather world. Glad to have them two in the chat. Try to keep an eye on that. All right, Vincent said we both sound good. Guess I have no doubling audio.
Yep. Hello.
All right. Oh, I got to get used to this boom mic. I just hit it with my coffee cup. I got to get a smaller coffee cup. But it lasts me through a 3-hour live, you know. All right. He's getting double audio from Alex.
No. No, I did it because I haven't. I had the YouTube on, but I put the audio off on the YouTube.
Okay. Well, I had two inputs coming from you too, so Vincent said either way it sounds good now. So I muted one of the inputs just in case. So we both made a correction. Maybe that'll work. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. We had a great Christmas, spending time with family that we could see, that we couldn't in nursing homes. But it's just the way the world turns right now. Got to talk to them on the phone. Hope everybody else had an enjoyable Christmas. And there's that evil antenna behind Alex. I used to be able to hear Alex all the time, and then he got this great antenna, and now if you don't point at me, I can't really hear him. So
Yeah. That's
Alex,
the main idea of the
Alex
direct.
can hear the world now, though.
Oh yeah, I can't complain about it.
We're just stalling a little bit, guys, letting some other people maybe come in. I know there's a lot of folks are having to make a decision whether they're going to try to jump in on the 100 watts and a wire free show and main show later, but just the way schedules work, the way they'll be able to watch this later on when it gets processed by YouTube. So Vincent, I don't know if you've ever heard Alex on the air or seen his YouTube. I believe you probably have, and you probably caught little snippets of his story coming from Cuba to America and some of the struggles, and that's what we're doing today is just giving him some airtime, not have to worry about the chat and pile up on the air, just be able to sit back and tell some of that.
I tried to share this on my social media right now to bring people here. Okay, hold on.
Good time for everybody to hit the share button, the like button, subscribe button, whatever you haven't done, go ahead and do it.
Elisandra, estás al aire, ¿viste? Ok.
Well, Vincent, let me tell you, that new antenna he's got, if you'll get on his live stream and just let him know that you're listening and you want to work it, he will type in your call sign. He will beam that antenna to you, and you'll probably be able to make contact. But you know how propagation and all that works. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but I guarantee you one day you'll get him. The voice of Florida.
The voice of Florida. So funny.
You got your good friend Alex in chat. Papa Zulu 2 Yankee Tango.
Hello, hello, Mr. Judell.
All right. Well, we're 5 minutes past 9, Alex, and it's your
I'm
show, buddy.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm just like everybody else. I'm sitting back and just ready to listen to you.
How many friends we have connected here? 6. Okay, I guess. Well, we'll tell this story we'll start right now and tell the story. Good morning, everybody. This is Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. My name is Alexander Valladares, and if you all know, I'm original from Cuba. I was born on 1980 in a town named Florida City in Camagüey, Cuba. So everything started right here in Florida City, Cuba. Okay, if you're gonna see on the map right there. Okay, that little town there, the name is Florida, Cuba. So I lived in there my entire life until I decided to escape and come into this beautiful country over here. Joe, are you seeing the screen sharing?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So, well, um, as I see, as you see, Florida is in the state or province of Camagüey, right in the center of Cuba. And I was born right there in Florida. So, when I was 22 years old, after being ham radio for a couple years, I started as a ham radio at the age of 13 back in 1993. And I was actually one day hunting lizard, you know. Oh, I think you could double the audio.
Dad, I thought I had that cut off. Go ahead.
That's okay. Well, I was hunting lizards on my neighborhood, and right there in Florida, Cuba, and I was walking around the neighborhood, and I saw a guy. Actually, I was living right here. Okay, this is the baseball stadium right there, and I used to live in this street right here, and my home was right here. Over here was my home. Okay, right here, this dark house that you see there. Of course, the Google Earth doesn't see too good there. So actually, I was walking down the other street right here, and Maurice, Charlie Mexico 7 Oscar Charlie, was living on the other corner, on the other side, on the eastern side of my home. And I passed by, he has an orange tree close to the windows, and I was hunting the lizard there, and I heard the noise, and I look at it, and he told me, "Oh, you like this?" And I told him, "What is that?" He told me, "This is a ham radio equipment. It's a 160-meter equipment." I didn't know what the heck was that. So I said, "Yeah," and he told, "Come in," and I went inside of his home, and he had this old tube transmitter for 160-meter made by himself, and the receiver was a regular musician radio and commercial radio. The AM FM radio was a big Best 206, a Russian made radio, and and I was able to listen to him talking to another guy who lived in 3 kilometers away from our home, in a place named El Tráfico. So, and the name of the guy is Tati. Tati is the name of the guy. He's still being a ham radio Cuba, and Mauri is now in A Coruña, Spain. So I got amazed when I see that somebody can talk with another friend 3 kilometers away. For me, that was fantastic. Back in 1993, uh, 1993, the radio station of my town was in 1480, 1,480 kilohertz, and 160 meter in Cuba started at 16, 1,600 and above. So it was very close. What happened is, um, when you transmit with a homemade rig back in the time, that we didn't know much about it, the harmonic and, when you transmit, everybody will listen to us in the radios because we killed the radio station signal, and because it was AM, you know, uh, everybody was listening what Amaury says, and in this case, what I said. So I used to like to sing like an Italian singer, Eros Ramazzotti, and I started singing Fantastico Amore, Son. And then next day when I went to school, you know, I remember I was at the secondary school. When I went there the next day, everybody was telling me, "Hey, I heard you on the radio station. I heard you on Radio Florida." And I say, "Oh yeah, why?" I say, "Yeah, you were singing Eros Ramazzotti." So, and despite my thing, oh my goodness, that is awesome. That they were able to listen to me, and everybody, everybody in the school were congratulating me. Hey, I heard you on the radio station. How you get into that? That was awesome. Blah blah blah. And then I returned to Amaury's house the next day, and the following day, and the following day, and the following day, until I become and I got my license. So that was the main reason that I became a ham radio, because I found that hunting lizards over my neighborhood. So, and my good friend, my Elmer Amaury, Charlie Oscar 7, Charlie Mike 7, Oscar Charlie helped me out. So, well, and then after that, I learned and I became a ham radio, and I went to the high school, and well, we call it the pre-university, which is from 10th grade to 12th grade. I went to a place named Sabate, which is one school who is right in the south of Florida, near here. Okay, near to this Munoz Lake. Okay, was somewhere around here between El Seis and La Tomatera, somewhere around this place over here. So we used to go to school there, and I met there my friend Charlie Oscar 7 Whiskey Texas, um, Pavel, and we were ham radios, and we brought my first rig, who was Islander, was a tooth-made double sideband rig, and we got that into the school. So we used to talk and make a lot of DX from there. We have a dipole for 40 meter, and we were calling DX every day, and we having fun. So, and one of the good things that happened one day was we had that on the physics laboratory. Okay, not in our room place. I mean, the sleeping place. We had it on the physics laboratory. So we lost the key to enter in there, and it was a Sunday morning, and they has one of these nets. They used to have the net, name it La Rueda del Tinajón, made by a good fellow, Charlie Oscar 7 Kilo Radio, Juan Emilio. I believe he's already passed away. He's a silent kid now. But Juan Emilio, he used to do La Rueda del Tinajón. So we actually um, went to the laboratory, and we find out that we didn't have the key. So we went from the window, and we got a piece of wood, and we turned on the radio. We grabbed the microphone and we grabbed the microphone from the outside of the building, and we start talking with John and with many people around. So we do radio. We make radio that day from the outside and moving the dial with a piece of wood, and that was crazy. People said that we were crazy, and you know, it's unbelievable how when you love the radio, the things that you can do. Well, and then I grew up a little bit more, and at 2002 we decided, me and another 6 friends, we decided that we gotta leave the country. We gotta get our freedom and be free men. So we start building the idea to escape the country. We said, well, how we go out of the country? We cannot get a visa, and even in that time, if you got a visa, you had to wait for a government used to authorize you to go. The government decide if you can go out or not going out. So they call in Carta Blanca to that. That was before. And well, sometimes people wait for years to get the Carta Blanca. Sometimes they never get the Carta Blanca to go out of the country. So the government controls everybody there. And then we said, well, the only way that we have, accessible and possible is building a raft. But before that, I was able to contact a friend from Dominican Republic who used to live in New York, and he went to Cuba, and I talked to him, and he despite me, he explained me how good the way of life is, and the freedom and everything. And he opened the minds, opened my mind, and the other friends of mine too. And we said, well, we gotta go. So this gentleman, by the name Ramon, he sent me money along with Kilo 4 Papa Yankee, Juan de Castro. I believe Juan works now in the Hamradio outlet in Denver, Colorado. So they sent me some money there via Western Union, and with that money we bought the engine. The first engine was the Volkswagen engine, who was 1970s Volkswagen engine diesel. And then we start collecting everything, from the we start collecting everything, all the resources to build a raft. So one of the resources to build a raft was the 55-gallon drums, the 55-gallon drums, which is pretty much this that you see in here, okay? Those 55-gallon drums, they cost money, of course, and we bought for the first time. We make 8 and 8 to make the raft. So we collect the 55-gallon drums, and I don't know if you guys ever saw my raft. I showed that a couple times. See right here. No. Okay, so we make a pontoon boat. The first time was 16 55-gallon drums bottle. Hey, Joe, if you want to ask me any question while I'm telling this story, just let me know.
Okay, yeah, you're doing good, and I'm keeping an eye on chat. If anybody in chat has any questions about anything, pop it up, and we'll address that.
Yeah, because I don't want to just tell everything. If anybody want to ask any question, I'm able to read it. Just follow the chat and interrupt me because I'm not seeing the chat. I'm just seeing the screen right here. Well, and then we decided to start building the raft. The other problem is we couldn't say that to anybody. 7 people there were enough people for a big secret like that. So you have that in secret that not even my mother knew that. Okay? So I couldn't say that to my mother. Imagine that. Not my brother, my brother, anybody, father, anybody. So one of the guys who lives in Houston, Texas, his name is Alexis Lopez. He have a house and he used to, to have a ponchera. We call that to the place that you fix the tire, flat tire and stuff. So he had the little business to, fix flat tires and stuff at front of the house, and there was a wood house. So while we had, the compressor on and everything at front, the other guys were building the raft inside of the house. What we do is we have the walls, we took it apart, okay, and we started putting everything, the angulars and everything, all the structure that we have to build. And during the day we do that. So at nighttime they put back together, they open the door, and people can come, the neighbors can come. It's like that in Cuba. The neighbors go to the other neighbor's house. It's not like here in Cuba. The people goes, and if you don't have sugar, they say, "Hey neighbor, do you have sugar?" Yes, come here. And the people in Cuba are very. I believe it's because they suffer so much and they don't have all the resources that everybody have around the world. And because the communism, the only thing that delivers is the poor, and whatever it multiplies more is the hunger. The only thing that dividing into more people give you more is the hunger. So neighbors are like family in Cuba. So you go inside, the neighbors know, how many underwears you have and everything. Believe it or not, it's like that. So they know everything. So everybody knows everything about everybody. There is no secrets right there. So yeah, we start building the raft. I used to be a teacher in the secondary school, and I said, well, this is the time to go, because I finished the high school, and I started learning foreign languages, which was English and Italian, but I didn't finish the university because I escaped. And well, we said, well, this is the time. We prepare for the escape, the first attempt. We couldn't test the raft, because if you take that raft out of there and test it, you cannot return with that. I mean, somebody will see you, and then they will catch you, and then everything will fail. So we have to take everything and assemble it into the coast, to the coastline, right on the water, and then go. There's no chance. If it's bad, you got to fix it right there. I mean, you know what I mean? So what we did is we have everything set up. So we have one of these. Okay, let me show this. One of these Cuban tractors, for the. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, the tractors are the thing that they use to grow the rice, and the beans, and the sugar cane back in Cuba. I don't know if you've seen that. You seen the picture over there?
If there's supposed to be a tractor in it, I think it's just outside of the crop area. For some reason, zoom makes it a little bigger.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh yeah, they make it a little bigger. Well, the same thing as you seen now on the picture there. We put all the 55-gallon drums and the engine and everything, so we left. So what we got to do is we use a Chinese bicycle, okay? That Chinese bicycle. Somebody was riding the Chinese bicycle there, like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers ahead. So we went with the tractor behind, and with a walkie-talkie, with a handy-talkie in 2-meter band, he was telling clear, continue to go, because what happened is from my hometown, okay, let me share that to you.
If you want to go back to the tractor, I can adjust it.
Huh?
If you want to go back and show the tractor, I can adjust that to where everybody else can see it.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second.
And I have a question from Todd when you get a chance.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me show that right now. Here we go. You got them in there. You want to adjust it?
There we go. Got it.
You got him?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I believe. Yep. You want to fix it right there. Okay. Perfect. So that is the tractor. Let me go back to the thing and tell Todd to tell you what was the question from Todd.
All right. Todd is curious about that. I'm curious about how much control the government in Cuba had over you using the ham radio in Cuba. How much did they watch what you were doing on a daily basis?
Okay. This is the thing that everybody asks, and that is a simple question as they always watching you. They never tell you that you cannot talk to here and there, but if you do, they send you what they call in sanctions. For example, if you talk to somebody outside, they listen to the entire conversation, and they want you to commit only one little thing to take you off the air for. They close your station. That's it. If you talk, they're gonna put you in jail. So, but they basically you're free to talk to anybody unless you talk to somebody that is well known as a politic guy. You know, the guy talk politics and stuff. And before the cell phone era and the internet era, it was more tough. Now with the cell phone and the internet, I believe they're relaxing a little bit the way that they control the ham radios in Cuba now, because now you don't have to use the radio to tell something that is happening. You get your cell phone from Cuba now, and people are posting videos and pictures and you know and everything. But before, yes, they check you. They have um, in the entire island, they have like a couple places that they call in um, control technical CT control technical control, and they were recording the entire spectrum all day long because they have a lot of people. They have a lot of resources, so they put people who watch this spectrum from here from him. If they see any signal, they record that and they analyze that and they send you a ticket. Not with money. They close your station, or sometimes if it was bad, you can get some big trouble with them. I never had a problem with that because I was a young child, and then I talked to the people, and then when we decided that we did it, about our friends, we decided to do that in secret. So, and I never expressed, on the air that I didn't like the system and anything because if you do that, you're already convinced. You put it yourself in risk.
All right. All right. I believe that answered Todd's question pretty good. He said that's what he kind of imagined. Yeah. All right. If you wanna go back to where you was at, the tractor and the bicycle.
Okay, yes, and then I'm showing now the um, the Google Earth right here. Florida City is right here when you see this red pin, and then we gotta go south to Playa Florida. Okay, gotta go south to Playa Florida. El Caney. Hold on, let me see where is Playa Florida at. Okay, Playa Santa Maria. Hold on a sec. Okay, Playa Florida is right here. Okay, we got the entire route here until we reach here, and of course not on the place that all the houses are in Playa Florida. There is a fisherman town in there named Playa Florida. We went a little bit to the west, and we went over here. Okay, around this place over here, and we build the rafting here, and we take this channel here. Okay, all the way until we exit to the sea right here, and we did that at nighttime, and then we went from here. We went from here to This is the Jardines del Rey and Cayos de las 12 Leguas. So we exit to this little uh, space between the keys in here. So we were actually on the daytime. We put the rafting those kids in here, the keys, and we found that they have names. They have like a little of a concrete thing with the names there. So we stay in Cayo Mosquito, Mosquito Key, and from Mosquito, the next day we start coming in here. So when we went here, okay, of course we ate on this one, Cayo Anclitas. We ate right there Jutia, which is like a kind of it's like a rat. It's a big rat. We call it Jutia. I don't know how to call that in English, but it tastes good. The meat tastes good, and we were, at that point we have food and water and everything.
Called chicken in America. Everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So well, and then we will, put in the roof of the raft right here and everything. And I know many of you saw the picture of the raft. And I don't know if I have the picture right here somewhere. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Zulu 2 Yankee Tango says Julia is from Cuba and only eats fruits. Cutis, my bad.
Okay, what you see right there is the picture of the raft. Oh, hold on. Right here. What you see right there is the picture of the raft. It's a little bit, small. Are you seeing that now?
Yes.
Okay, that is the picture of the raft. The second raft. The first one, we didn't have any picture because I'm gonna let you know what happened with us while we were on into the ocean. So it was pretty much the same. The thing is, this one has 11 and 11. The other one has 8 and 8. It was 16 versus 22 55-gallon drums. Okay, so going back to the map here. So when we was ready about it, we saw a griffin, which is the Coast Guard from Cuba, a boat from the Coast Guard of Cuba, who was looking at us from the northern part of the key here, and we said, well, we gotta go because they're gonna get us. They have weapons and everything. They can kill us, and nobody would know that, or we got scared. So we start. We knew when we stay in Cayo and Clitas, we knew that there was a tropical storm who was coming into the area, and we say, well, let's wait here for 2 days until that passed, and then we go. But we couldn't do that. They find us, and basically they force us to escape, to go, because we prefer to risk our life with the storm than being catched by the authorities. So what we did is we said, well, let's go, and we start, taking the journey into the deep blue water right there. And when we were about here, in between the Cayman Islands and Cuba, there was a big wave, 10 meter, 8 meter, 15 to 30 feet high, the wave. And like I say, we said, well, we got to do. So we tied ourselves with the rope, a very long rope, to the raft just in case any of us fail to the water. So in between that crazy thing, as I was mentioning you the other day, there were two guys who used to go to the church, Agustin and his son. And Agustin told his son, hey, keep the Bible dry and saved. That way, we can keep using the Bible, reading the Bible and everything. So he gave the Bible to his son because he was, doing other stuff while we were into the raft. So, and I kept the first radio that I used was the FT80, Jesu FT80, who was a commercial version of the FT747, and I have that with me, and I put clothes on it, and I keep it dry. So when that night, who was the worst, the storm passed. The next day, I have my radio okay, and Augustine's son has the Bible wet. So Augustine gets very, very upset, and from that point, we were like 3 days on the journey, and from there, 2 days. From there, no, 4 days on the journey. 4 days on the journey, and from there we stayed 18 days, just floating like crazy with no engine and anything, because that night when the raft was going up and down, we have the escape, okay, like the muffler of the engine, and there was water who came inside of the muffler, and that killed the engine. So the engine was gone. What we did is we took and we throw the engine to the sea, because it was too heavy. It was too lower into the level in the tank. It was too low, and we throw the engine below. So to the sea. So we had that, and we didn't have any sail the first time. So we were floating there, just pushed by the current, who was not too much of the current in the area that we were. So we took 18 days from here, okay, from this key here, Cayo Anguilas, going south until we went into the Isla de la Juventud, right here. We went from here, okay, to here, to Isla de la Juventud, right here. But we didn't get into the Isla de la Juventud. We stayed somewhere around here, one of these very close to Cayo Rosario, in between Cayo Largo and Cayo Cantiles. And there was a fishing boat who actually was there, and I have the FT23R, and I have it on Scannel until I heard a voice of somebody who was talking. So in Cuba, the 2-meter band is used also for commercial. The government used a portion of the 2-meter band, unlike here, and they use that. So my radio was scanning, and I heard those people and say, "Do you copy me? This is CO7 Hotel United on Maritime Mobile." They say, "Yes, I copied you." So we saw them, and with the mirror, we took the sun, and we make signal for them, so they find us. There was a fishing boat from Pinal del Rio. The name of the boat was La Coloma. So they find us, and they never went into to give us the help. They cycle us around until the Coast Guard came like 6 hours after they find us. So we were there seeing them, and we said, "Please send us water. Please send us water." They didn't talk to us, just for the radio one time, and that's it. So, but in between that time until we got found by the fishing boat, we were 18 days. The first 7 days, we only have left 7 cans of sardine for 7 people and 18 liters of water for the 7 people. After the big wave, we lost some water, we lost the food and everything. So we ended up the next day, after the huge bad weather, with 7 cans of sardine and 18 liters of water. Imagine that. So we have to. Huh?
That's a wow.
Yes, we decide to eat 1 kind of sardine for 7 people at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and half a glass of water. I mean, 4 ounces of water for each one. So we're talking about that we consume half a glass of water for each of us, and because we didn't know how long it will take us to reach other place or to being rescued. And that night, when the engine failed, we had the battery with the alternator who was recharging the battery. So the that day when everything started being bad, I called Mayday, Mayday, and there was people in 280, the Hispanic net there by a guy named Hotel India A Lima India Bravo, and there were a lot of Hispanic people who talked to us. But in that case, nobody helped us because we lost the communication because the engine was gone, and then the battery, it dragged too fast because we were calling Mayday with 100 watts. I didn't think at the time that I can lower the power and the battery will last longer. But well, we start calling. We say, well, we have this problem here, and we're escaping out of Cuba, blah blah blah. And so there was a big cover of, attention of many ham radios around the world. In that day, I didn't talk to the 14300 net. It was in the second attempt when they actually help us and send the Coast Guard. But that is for the next episode when I count, the story, when I tell the story of the second attempt, because that was my first attempt in 2002. So the next day, everything was clear. The sky was clear, after the storm passed, and the water was flat. That was amazing. You say, wow, amazing. So at the beginning, we saw when we were escaping a lot of sharks and a lot of dolphins near us, and we saw, oh, those so nice, so cute. So when we end them up floating into the water with nothing, we start drinking the half a glass of water and one can of sardine for 7 people at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and every day. So I was thinking, asked his son, where is the Bible? And actually he gave him the Bible, and the Bible was wet. And he turned to me and said, where's your radio? I say, right here. Yeah, can you connect? And I connect the radio. The radio was able to receive, but when I transmit, it was already consumed the battery. And he started screaming at his son, and he say, honey, why Alexander keeps safe his radio, and he doesn't believe in God, and you that was born believing in God, you let the Bible get wet? And he got upset. He actually never smoked, and one of the guys smoking, he started smoking, cigarettes, Cuban cigarettes. I don't smoke, and I didn't smoke at that time as well. So he started losing the fee and everything, and well, it was the time that we finished the food. 7 days after that, we finished the food, the one can of sardine, and we only have a half a water of at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So imagine those days, and at nighttime you look at your hands and you won't see your hands because it's so dark, and it is impressed. It is impressed. It is actually very tough. Well, there was the time that when we were very close to being rescued or to being noticed by the fishing boats, we contacted via the handy talkie, that I start thinking things. I start seeing buildings and stuff. I don't know if it was because we were too weak, and I don't know why. But we start thinking and other things, and you go back and you imagine yourself, and you imagine your family, how they were suffering because they don't know anything about you. You are out there on the water, on the open sea, and they don't know you. Then and you didn't tell your family that you're gonna leave. They realized that you leave because when we escaped on the radio, we were talking to the in 20 meter and then 40 meter while we were in one of the keys. And Amauri, the guy who was my mentor, he went to my home and told my mother, the kids are on the water. They left in the raft and blah blah blah. My mother was almost going to get a heart attack because imagine that the risk that we took, was too bad. And then the people would say, why you took the south part and not the north part? Well, the north part was well watched by the government. The government didn't want the people to escape. So we used the south part because our first plan was to go from here to Honduras, to Honduras or Guatemala or Belize, any of that place. So and then when we got the tropical storm hit us, it sent us to the Isla de la Juventud, you know. So uh, and then my mother, I was thinking of my mother and my brother and my loved ones that I left behind, and I said, well, we're gonna die here, and they not even know where we die if we're gonna get to some place. So we decide in between all of us that if we'll die, we'll tie ourselves and we'll remain on the raft. And if somebody survived, they will tell the story. So we have our ID cards, our carnet de identidad. We got it in our clothes and say, well, if we die, they will recognize who were us, and they will tell the authorities. So uh, and then imagine drinking just half a glass of water for so many days. One of the guy, Alexis, he started, urine like blood because he have a kidney problem. And there was one day that he said, "Hey guys, I feel very bad." It was the day before we told Agustin to start reading the Bible again and singing religion songs. And he looked at us and he says, "You know what? If I die, just eat me." And we look at him and say, "Well, no, we're not gonna eat you." And he said, "Yes, you can eat me from here, from the legs, and you can get some meat, and you can at least you guys survive, because he knew that he will be, if we didn't get rescued at the time that we got rescued, I believe he will die because he was when he went to pee, he was peeing blood. Imagine that. It was very very tough. And then I lost a lot of weight and everything. Everybody was skinny, and well, the days pass over, and one day when I was thinking start reading the Bible and singing for us, his son Javier, the other son, he got the two sons in there. Javier, uh, we have this metal screen uh, under the in between the two liners between the two pontoons,
Yeah.
We have this metal thing that have little holes that they use that for fencing. We call it tela metálica, but I don't know how to call that in English. So Javier used to make a hook with that. So that day, Javier have one of those they call him berracos. It's a fish like this that you can only eat a little piece of it. So we have ¿cómo se llama la? Oh my goodness, la gaviota. Seals. The seals. Yeah, we have one seal in the front of the raft right there. For so many days, it was all day in there until we said, well, we gotta kill him and eat it. It was the only source you know food right there. So we got a piece of wood that we have in Nugget, and we got him. So they cut the head, and what one of the guy did is he drank the blood on it because he was so thirsty. He thought, he will. So we opened them up, and with the inside, with the intestine, Javier make the hook. So and we have a fishing line and everything. So Javier got the hook with the with the um, with the hook and put the intestine, the inside of the belly part, and he grabbed that little berraco. So we got that day that little piece of food, and that happens after Agustin started singing religion songs and reading the Bible, and we all were paying attention to him and sing with him, even if we don't know how to sing, religion songs. So that was the day that we met God, or the day that I met God, and I believe in God because I knew that God exists. Because after he started reading the Bible and everything, that till, uh, Miguel uh, killed the seal, and we got the intestine, and Javier was able to get one fish, and we can at least ate something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was great. And then that was early in the morning. So around 7 or 8 hours after that, almost at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we I put my handy talkie. My handy talkie was somewhere in the raft, so I found it and I turned it on, and it turned off. It turned on. I'm sorry. I thought it was dead because it was so many days from the time that we charged to use it in the transportation of the raft from Florida to the beach. So I thought it didn't work. And actually, with the 2 meter band on the sea, what else are you going to do? Nothing. So I put that to a scan to just kill the time until I heard that signal. So when I heard that signal, and was when I called, and that happens around 2 o'clock. And the guys, the boat came around 2:33. So the 4 hours after that, the Coast Guard came, and then I remember that Alexei was right all the way to the other side of the raft, and I was on the back of the side, back side of the raft. And when the Coast Guard sent one of those gallons of water, the gallon of milk, there was a gallon of water. The Coast Guard sent, because the fishermen that were around us, but they're not allowed to talk to us and to send us anything. So the Coast Guard sent us a gallon of water, and Alexei was the one who first it, and he started grabbing the gallon of water, and we told him, uh, uh, get out, bring it to us, bring it to us. And he say, oh yeah, bring us the water, give us the water, don't drink it all, don't drink it all. But we were so desperate to get that water, man, that was crazy. So because he was the one who was, having problem with the kidney. So he was drinking like crazy. He would say, "Oh yeah, don't be mad, man. Just pass it to us." Well, at the end, we all of us got water. We drink that gallon of water in between the seven of us, like this. And then the Coast Guard was talking to us. Do you have any weapon? No, we don't have any weapon. Do you have anything? Yeah, we had a machete. Said we have a machete, but if you want, we can throw it away. So we throw the machete away to the water because they're scared that if they come into us and we have a weapon or something, we jump into the boat, we kill them, and we take the boat to go.
Yeah.
But we weren't criminals. We just wanted to leave and not hurt anybody. We just built our own raft and we leave the country.
Let me ask you this. You was talking about your handheld and the Coast Guard, and you heard a signal. Would that be you happen to be scanning and heard the Marine Channel 16 or something? Is that what you called out on?
No, remember in Cuba it's different. In Cuba they use the 2 meter band instead of the Marine channel.
Okay.
And use that. So I believe in Cuba from 144 to 145 is the ham radio. From 145 to 147 is commercial.
Okay.
It's for roads and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're scanning that because the FD23R you can operate in all the spectrum. You know. So and we heard the fishermen, who were close to us, and that was one. So ask the guy if they have any question before I can go to the part that when the Coast Guard arrived and everything that happened.
All right. Well, Carlos, Carlos said God always takes us to the desert to make us grow in faith and believe. Anybody got any questions? Post it up in chat. We'll take a little water break, coffee break. Yeah, I didn't realize that they used a different part of the spectrum for marine. So that's interesting, and thank goodness, huh?
Yeah. They use that. Well, actually, the FT-80, they used, in Cuba, they used that before, for the different companies, owned by the government. They used that for communicate in near 7 megahertz. I believe it was 8 megahertz and 6 megahertz that they use that in HF, and sometimes they use that in 7 megahertz as well.
All right. Well, I ain't seeing nothing popping up in chat yet, so somebody's still typing. We'll get to it once it gets posted. Going about that.
Yeah. Well, um, it was. I mean, I tried to make everything compact into 1 hour or so, to make everything as simple as possible. Just wanted to share with you the experience, but the life wasn't easy there, um, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't imagine being out in the water and not being able to see anything but water and weather for that many
well,
days, not knowing if it was going to turn out good or bad.
I know.
But
It's
we are
actually.
glad to have you.
Oh yeah. And it was tough. It was tough. You look at your hands and you don't see because it's too dark and stuff. It's very bad. It's very bad. But everything is actually, um, you know, if I got to do it again, I will do it. I did it 2 times, and the second times I got into Mexico, and thanks, the 14300 net. We'll tell that the next time. But you know, sometimes I believe in that, and I wake up, and sometimes I have dreams, and still, 16 years. I mean, almost 18 years after that, and sometimes sleeping, and I have flashback on it, and I wake up and excitated, like my heart beeping,
Yeah.
because I believe that I'm living that again, and it's very tough. The sensation that you feel is very bad. It's very bad. I don't suggest anybody to do it if they don't have to do it. You know what I mean? I know
Right.
if you don't have a choice, and you hardly want your freedom and stuff. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But it was
And,
tough. It was tough. It was not a piece of cake.
yeah, our friend Papa Zulu 2 Yankee Tango puts in chat the history of so many Cubans.
I
You
know.
could imagine. And a lot of things we take for granted. We think having car trouble over here is a struggle. So,
Well, 1994, when I was 14 years old, I went on vacation to Havana, and my uncle lived in Alamar, which is a place very close to the water, to the sea there, to the beach, in La Playita de los Rusos. And in 1994, there was the rafting crisis. A lot of Cuban rafting people who came to the United States while Bill Clinton was the president of the United States, and I saw Raft right there in front of me. I was a child. Who the people came with the bags with 6 eggs, boiled eggs, and they say, "Can you take me to with you on a raft?" And they jump into it and they left on the raft. And sometimes you saw the raft leaving in the morning, and in the afternoon you saw the raft coming in empty bag, and then you say, "Well, did they made it? Did they got rescued, or they died?" So the fact is, out of I believe it was 100,000 people, 120,000 Cubans who left during the 1994 crisis, a huge percent of them that die on the water. They die on the sea. They died looking for their freedom. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I think we were lucky that we didn't die the first time, and I think it's because God wanted us to make it, and we had the second attempt. And well, to go back to the story, when we get into that situation that we have already the Coast Guard right there, they throw us a rope, they tie us, and they put, they pull our raft. They were up front, and they were pulling the raft into a place called La Enviada, which it was in a little key that they have all the fishermen bring the lobsters and all the stuff. So in there, the people from the boat, they cooked for us rice and beans and lobster, okay? And that was the first time that I ate a lobster in my life like that. So, and the beans, I mean, when we ate that desperate that I ate that in seconds.
Yeah.
Imagine that when they put me on the scale right now, to weight me, I was 94 pounds at the time, 94 pounds, and I'm almost 6 feet tall.
Wow.
Imagine. So, and that's why you saw I don't know if you ever seen the picture of myself when I was, back in Cuba and right here. So imagine that picture. I was skinnier than that. So let me see if I can see it in here. Okay. Okay. The picture that you see there. Okay. Okay, perfect. That picture, you see, that is the walkie-talkie that I used when I left. And that picture was before I took the raft. So after I took the raft, I was skinnier than that. I lost in those 18 days, I lost like 15, 20 pounds.
Wow.
In those days. So imagine the same ugly, skinny guy right there with minus 15, 20 pounds. I was 94 pounds at the time. I wasn't fat. As you see, I was skinny. I looked like I was sick in there, but I wasn't. And I lost like 15, 20 pounds during the journey on the first raft. That was crazy, completely crazy. So when we got the food and everything, they called another boat, a speedboat from the Coast Guard of Cuba, and the guy who lost who make the Bible wet and me, they sent us before on the speedboat, and then when we get into Nueva Gerona, who was in Isla de la Juventud, let me see if I can show you there. Okay. Let me share this. Okay, when we got here into Nueva Gerona, Isla de la Juventud, we went from here, from Cayo Rosario, and until Nueva Gerona, which is the capital city of Isla de la Juventud. As soon as I got into the port there, the little port there, that I put the first foot on the ground, and there was a nurse. I remember her was a nurse who put me a thing in here, intravenous. How you call that? I forgot how to call that suero.
An IV.
Exactly, an IV. So they put me 7 of those to hydrate myself, and because I was almost,
Right.
Imagine. And they put me 7, but the first one was right there. As soon as I put my foot on the ground and my hands out of the boat, she grabbed my hand and put the IV on it right away. And we went 4 days on the intensive care on a hospital there in Nueva Gerona. So after that, we got transport from Nueva Gerona to Habana. Okay, from here, from Nueva Gerona, let me share that. From Nueva Gerona, which is right here, to Batabano. Okay, I gotta see what is Batabano right here. It's somewhere around here. Hold on one second. Okay, right here, Surgidero de Batabano. From here, from the Isla de la Juventud in Nueva Gerona to Batabano, to here. Okay, so on the transportation from there to Batabano, it wasn't a normal transportation. They sent us, the people for the secret police of Cuba, with what they call la seguridad del Estado. They sent 7 people with us. We have one agent or one police for each of us. We went on into a public catamaran, a big boat, to transport people from Isla de Juventud until there. So, and over there was a huge tourist bus who was waiting for us with 2 police cars and everything. So we weren't on prison, but they went to make a show with that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They took us from there to Batabano. In Batabano, my mother was there. I couldn't see her. They didn't allow her to see me. She was actually, he went to Havana when she knows that we got rescued, and the secret police told my mother, "Hey, your son is in Isla de la Juventud. We got him. We're gonna bring it back." So my mother was there. She was, of course, crying and stuff. I saw her through the glass of the bus, and then they sent us from there to La Cabaña. La Cabaña is another place in Havana, in the Havana city. And while we were there, they were interviewing us. Why you did that and why you did that? I said, well, we did that because we wanted to be a free man and stuff. And actually, they wrote a note on the newspaper of Cuba, of El Granma, and they named it another bad experience to tell. And when they asked me, will you do it again? Yes, I did. We're better resourced. Yes, we will do. I will do it. Because the thing is, imagine I say, oh, no, I don't want to do it. Of course not. I will do it. You know, I will do it again. And we did it. We did it in 2005. I was in 2002, 2005. We did it again. The same group of people plus another guy who joined us. So from there, from La Cabaña, they sent us back to Camagüey, to the place that we were, on the same bus. Imagine how the government spent that money to send us back there, the entire bus, to go to Camagüey. So when we went to Camagüey, they sent us in a little police car from the G2, they call it El Gedo, which is the secret police of Cuba, what they call the Seguridad del Estado, security of the state. And they sent us to our neighborhood. But before we got there, they sent people to organize the entire neighborhood, or the CDR, they call it CDR, to the organization that follows, all the snitches from your town. So the president of the CDR, of the CDR, was there, and they say, oh, this guy here is a victim of the Cuban adjustment law, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. So they want to use us to tell the other people that we were a victim of the Cuban adjustment law, and that we left because we had the opportunity to come to this country and claim a political asylum because the Cuban adjustment law. They didn't tell those people that we left because the lack of freedom of speech, not having the decent life, not being, you cannot be, an entrepreneur there. You cannot open your business and be a free man. You cannot do anything in your life. You cannot say that you don't like the system because they go against you, like they're going against the Damas de Blanco and Movimiento San Isidro and all those people that are fighting for the freedom today. So they were scared to say that. They just transform the story and tell them that we were a victim of the Cuban adjustment law, and we weren't a victim. So at the end, we made it. So after that, When I went back to my job, um, the director of the secondary school that I used to work, he calls me and told me, I need to talk to you. He said, oh, you know that you cannot work here anymore because you betrayed the country. You know, you're a traitor. And I said, okay, no problem. So, and then also the FRC, the Federation of Radio Communication of Cuba, told me that they're not going to give me the letter to renew because every 2 years you have to get, every 2 or 4 years, I forget, how long time it was. You have to get a letter from them to renew your license. So I was recently renewing my license before I go. So they didn't took my license, but they took my radio, and they put me a sanction for transmitting maritime without of authorization. Imagine that. They didn't sanction me because I was talking to the United States and I escaped in Raft. They sanctioned me as 1 year non talking or whatever was left on my license because I was operating on a mode that I was not authorized to operate maritime mobile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to save your life.
Yes, to save my life. So you know what I mean. So okay, they say that's fine. So before I lose my license again, so I have my old homemade radio that I have it in my house. Like this one, they didn't know that I had that. So in the second attempt, we brought that radio with us, and it was when we talked to the 14300 net and Whiskey 3ZU Federico, who helped us out to get. Well, my life was a nightmare after that because I lost my job. I lost also the opportunity to keep going to the university because I was a defective. I'll say in Cuba there is free education. Yes, until you become a defective people. There's no free for you, no education for you if you do that. You know what I mean? So I lost everything. So and one day they told me, if you don't work, we're going to put you in jail for 4 years for peligrosidad. Okay, they call him peligrosity. If you don't work, we put you in jail because we think you're going to commit a crime. Imagine that they put you in jail because they believe if you don't have anything to do, you will commit a crime. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. They call it peligrosidad predelictiva. Is how they call that law. So I went here and there to look for places until I talked to a friend of mine, and he told me, go to this place. They're gonna give you like a small license to sell rice and beans and stuff like that. And that was when I became a salesman the first time in my life.
There you go.
So I was there to CPA, which is Cooperativa de Producción Agropecuaria. And then what I did is I actually have, my friend from New York sent me $200 after that. And I used that money to buy the first 100 pound of rice, beans, and one pig. So what I did is I put the rice and the beans and then garlic and stuff that I went there to buy it. Of course, you have to buy those things from the farmers and get the paper because they send inspector. If you don't have everything in ruler, they put you a fine or, you know what they do. So I started having my punto de venta and I started selling to my neighbor in front of my front porch. I was selling that. I have a table and I put the rice and everything. And I don't know if you don't remember that, but I used to call that Punto El Chivo. So, and I started selling the rice. So imagine that when I first started, selling back and forth, selling and collecting the money and then we buying and, I started making good. So they send me inspector every month. They send me an inspector and then they send me every week. And then it's sometimes 2-3 times a week, the same inspector. So that inspector, now he lives in the United States. So one day it was my birthday, and after I was able to get some revenue out of trading, buying the rice at for example 1 peso and selling at 150 and 150 cents, $1 1 peso and 50 cents Cuban pesos was very very cheap. just to put you on a sample. And I believe it was $5, 5 pesos the pound at the time. So one day I told the guy, hey, the inspector, hey, tomorrow is my birthday. So if you want, you can call me in. And when he came, I had some cans of beer, the first case of beer that I could buy myself and stuff, and good food. And when he drank like 2, 3 beers, he told me, no, you know what happened? The security sent me here every day to try to catch you and make your life harder. And they say, yeah, don't worry. You come every Saturday, I give you 5 pounds of rice, uh, 2 pounds of meat, of pork, and 1 pound of beans and whatever garlic, whatever you need. So this guy uh, sent me message with people. We're going that day. We're going that day. So before he sent the people, I have everything nice and ready for them. You know what I mean? So that was, how was the
Hello,
life.
fellas. Welcome.
So yeah, and this guy is now here in the U.S. Yeah, that was crazy. Hey, you remember that, right? Punto del Chivo, eh? Yeah, you del remember that. I don't know if you del ever buy anything there. So imagine that I have a notebook because people are poor there like me. So the people say, well, we get paid once a month, and they get paid like 180 pesos and 200 pesos, which is less than $5-10 a month. So they come and say, give me 1 pound of rice and half a pound of beans. So I take a note on that notebook, the name of the person and how much they owe me. So when I left the country the second time, they owed me like 3,000 Cuban pesos. And I told my mother, oh, forget about it. Don't worry about it because, I give them like a credit, right? Until they pay me back. So when they pay me back, but they get more. They always been owing me money because, that's, and they were my neighbors. What else I could do? And when I left the country, they owe my mother. They owe me, but I left that to my mother, like 3,000 Cuban pesos, and I told her, no, tell them forget about it. I'm here in the U.S. already, so you don't need that. I will send you money, and don't worry about it. That was very very tough. So
Wow.
that's part of the life there on the first um, on the first journey. Of course, the second journey we're gonna leave that for the next time. Um, that we will do this. Maybe if you want to do it next Saturday or any other day, we can tell that. So now we open the question. If anybody wanted to have any questions, if they miss any details, they want to know any details on the raft, on the preparation, where we found the materials and everything. I have everything in my mind. I just want to be brief in order to accommodate the time and the story.
Right. I guess you may have seen Todd's comment. A true from rags to riches story. Wonderful story, he says. So it is definitely interesting. And you started talking about selling the rice, and it kind of slapped me in the face just then. Last time we were on a Zoom call, I said, "Hey, anybody want to buy some rice? Alex is your man," and I didn't realize how deep rice was with you. So uh, I, I will not make that a joke or anything now. So that's very important stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you wanted to hear the story how I became a salesman in America.
Man, I want to hear anything you got to talk about. Todd
Hey,
did just put on a chat that he missed. How many days were you actually on the raft? And we haven't got to the second part, so I guess he's referencing the first.
yeah, that's on the first one. Okay, we were 22 days from day first when we went with the tractor and following the guy in the bicycle ahead, and we reached the beach. And we assembled the raft and we went to the channel all the way to the open sea between the keys and stuff. We went 22 days, and we went 18 days flotating, and 4 day no water, and 10 day drinking, just from the day from the 4 day, the 18 days was the water was rationalization of half a glass of water. So, and then we ate for the first 7 days after those four. So counting 4 plus 7. So that counts 11 days, right? So in that we went 10 days, let's say about 11 days with no food at all, just drinking half a glass of water for the first, couple of days. And then the fourth last day, we were peeing in the same can of sardine that we have. We had 7 cans of sardine, and we used that as recipient of the urine. We put that in, we press our nose, and we drink the urine. Imagine that. That was crazy.
It'd be hard for a lot of people to even try to imagine that. The Smoking Ape got a good question. Was it typical for people to take radio equipment on a raft? He thinks that radios would be quite expensive in Cuba. So would that be something typical that others would take on a raft?
Well, before me, I heard that Whiskey Delta 4 X-Ray, the guy who made my antenna, the last antenna that I have, and Udell antenna, he did that too. He did that too, and he did it from the northern part of the island, and he actually communicated with the Hermanos Arrescates. Um, and yes, they did that, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was the first one who did that. But being here and getting other people telling the stories, like Judel says, there is many Cubans that do that. And yes, the radios are very expensive. And the radio that I have, the first radio, the FT80, was a gift of Juan de Castro and Ramon de Jesus, who sent me money there. It cost me $300. And I used it for a couple years, 2-3 years, until I decide that I will leave the country. You know what I mean? So I used that to leave the country with the radio, who was the FT80, Yaesu FT80, who was the commercial version of the FT747.
That's,
And I wasn't the only one who did that. So I believe a couple of ham radios did that. So the regular people, I don't think they will have access to radio, and they will know how to operate the radios and stuff.
yeah, I would imagine it was safe to say that the majority of folks leaving on a raft probably had no radio.
What was the question again?
I was just saying, I would imagine that most of the people, majority of people leaving on a raft, probably had no radio or communication.
Oh, no. The majority, no. The 99%, the 99.8% does not have radio communication on the raft. I never heard of anybody have that list. 2 or 3 ham radio operators who left the country earlier, you know. So yeah, but that's one of the thing there. Yes, almost impossible. Almost impossible. Smoking Abe. And well, I'll tell you how I became a ham radio operator a ham radio operator, no, a salesman in America. When I came here, of course, I had my technician license for about a year or so, and then I got my general, and then one day I was driving back to Florida. From Pennsylvania to Florida. I believe it was on I don't know if it was on a honeymoon or whatever. So I came here to Florida, and when I returned back, I heard that in North Carolina there were a radio club there from I thought it was in I don't remember what part of North Carolina it was, and I stopped there to make the extra class test, and I think I got him, or I failed that time, and then I passed it in Pennsylvania. But I did it twice. The extra class, I did it twice. So well, and I was actually in 2009. I was in 2-meter band, and was when the Echolink started being famous at the time. At least that I knew the Echolink note and stuff. So I was able to contact November 3 Tango X-Ray. His name is Jose. He's a guy who lived he used to live in Philadelphia. He's original from Puerto Rico, but he was living in Philadelphia. And I remember when, in 1997 or 98, I have QSO with him. and he sent me his QSL card. That's why I love QSL card, and I know how important our QSL card are. Okay, so when I got his QSL card in Cuba, of course I collected like everybody. I have, let's say, 400, 500 QSL cards. And when I came here, one day I talked to my mother. My mother told me, I have this box of QSL card here. What do you want me to do with that? And I said, do me a favor. If somebody come here, send it to me. If they don't, because they're, 400 cards is like this. It's not too big. So she sent me a package of my QSL cards back to the States from Cuba. Somebody went there on a visit and they sent me that back to me. So when I was going through the QSL card, I found Joseito QSL card. And I talked to him over the radio. Say, Jose, you know that we did talk in the past, right? This time, and tell, give me your phone number. I sent him a picture of his old QSL card from 1997, and he started kind of say, "Oh my God, I not even remember that QSL card anymore. That was one of the first QSL card that I ever sent. Oh my goodness!" So we became friend again in Kansas. So I was talking to him. I was a pizza delivery man at the time, okay? And he told me, Alex, you have the right attitude to do to be a salesman. So I work for a company named Goya Food. Goya, oh boy, you remember Goya Foods? So he sent me to Secaucus, New Jersey, to see the guy who interviewed the people who give them the job. So when I went to Secaucus to see Rudy Balseiro, was a Cuban guy, by the way. He was the one who take the interviews and give the job to the prospective salesman. I talked to him and I said, well, I come here to see Rudy Balseiro, and he started looking at me. Who told you that? Who coming today? He said, no, Rudy Balseiro told me that over the phone. I talked to him. He said, no, he's not here. He's here on Sundays. I said, yeah. But he told me that. He told me, by the way, I'm Bill Clinton. He told me that I'm Bill Clinton. I said, well, my pleasure. This is W7HU, Bush's son. I told him that. And he put his, he said, come here. And I start talking to him, and he told me, go, okay, where are you coming from? Who sent you here? And I told him, no, how you came to the United States. And I told him the story. When I finished to tell the story, brief story, he told me, take this paper and go and do the drug test. And I say, and when you're going to do me the interview? So you already passed the interview. You're hired. Go and do the test.
Yes.
So it's very exciting that I didn't have to do anything. I was prepared. I went online and I read about Don Prudencio, who was the one who first started the company, and everything. I was well prepared to do the test. If you will tell me what do you think about the company, how much our total gross sales, and blah blah blah. I was very prepared to go to the interview, and the interview was just this: what I'm doing with you today, a little small, and that's it. And they gave me the job, and I started being a sales trainee in the Group 39 in Pennsylvania.
Sold them on your personality.
Yep. And then 3 months after I was a sales trainee, and I got my route. I raised the route, and I boom in the signal. I mean the sales and everything. I put that to the sky, and I was on the. They have a book every week, and they put the picture of the the salesmen that are salesmen of the month and stuff. And I was in that book a bunch of times. So Joseito was very proud of me. He told me, "I'm glad that I sent you there, and it's pretty good to know that somebody that I advised to come to the company is doing so great." So, and then when I decided to move down to Miami, it's the same company, but it's the different people who run the company. So I had to start as a sales trainee, but they pay here $350 to the sales trainee, and they don't guarantee you a route. So I couldn't come from making $2,000 a week to coming to get $300 a week. That's not even pay the rent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I found a job in Trujillo and Son, which is the company that I'm in, and I start with a route of $800,000 a year. And this year, And thanks God and thanks America, we'll finish with $5 million sales.
That's good. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That I can't complain, man. This country gives you the opportunity to do everything you want in life. This is an amazing country.
As long as you pay them taxes.
Uh, a lot, a lot, a lot. But you know what? I'm glad and I'm happy. I'm glad and I'm happy.
That's what that's what it's about, and I believe everybody that watches your streams can see that happiness. Start throw them thumbs up, you wave high, you just interact with folks. You got that great personality. So you sell people in the food market, and you sell us on Hamradio as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanted to show you something here. Hold on. I got him.
Y'all look at this. I can't fit it all on the screen, but we'll do the best we can. Look at that.
I reached my 1K subscriber yesterday, so I'm very happy, and I would love to give the the thanks to all of you that make that possible. All of you to hit the subscription button there, make the channel growth, and that is a nice achievement. Not only mine, it's yours too, because we all enjoy the same, and that's what we're here for. Like you were talking to me, that you do this not to gain followers, you do it to the enjoyment of the radio, and because if you look at this point, um, with 1K subscriber or even 5K subscriber, you don't make money to pay for all the money that we put into our shack, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I believe it's just about the self enjoyment and the stuff. Try to show you something here. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can see the picture of. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you know my rigs, right? Let me show you. Okay. Okay, you see here, I have the Kenwood TS 890 and the Mercury
Oh, the
amplifier.
Mercury. Everybody's talking about the Mercury.
Yep, yep. Let me see if I can find a picture here of the Mercury. Right here. Okay. I guess you want to see it. Hopefully it fits in yeah, that is the Mercury. Very nice amplifier. Amazing. I love it. And the Kenwood TS 890 is a perfect match with it. Beautiful, beautiful amp. And the cool thing is that you can assemble that yourself. And when somebody come home and say, "Yes, I assembled that. I did it myself," which is very, very good, and very proud of that. And you know, but also the 7300. You know that when the guy designed the Mercury, he designed it to use it with the 7300. You know that the Mercury is all the parameters and everything was made to use with the 7300. You know that, right?
No, I did not know that.
So the people who have 7300s, they they have the perfect match for that amplifier. Imagine that. So because Kenny KM3KN, he has the 7300. He used that radio for all the studies and all the tests and everything on the Mercury. So
And let me
it's
tell you, Alex, I was watching Doug's stream the other night, KB KB2UKA, and he's using the Mercury as well. And for those that may be interested in it but may be a little scared of putting together your own amplifier, well, Doug, uh, he explained it to somebody on air the other night, KB2UKA. You look his channel up. That they was like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I heard him say they was like two parts to solder The rest was just plug and play. That it was very easy to put together.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's very easy, and just programming the Arduino, and that's it. It's easy, very easy. You have to solder, you have to solder the AC power cable, and you have to solder of course, the PL connector there for the antennas and everything. Soldering is minimum. In fact, yes.
So this is the beautiful XYL. Is that who you're showing here?
Uh huh. Me and
Look
my
at
wife.
there.
Me and my wife. Christmas Eve.
Yes, Todd. There is a song, "Crazy About a Mercury."
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll try to get to the second part. Anytime that you feel like it. We
See
could.
how see how the amateur radio is blessing our life. Imagine that a guy from Belgium, Oscar November 7, Oscar Fox, he sent us those perfumes. Very nice. Do you notice something on that perfumes label?
Yes. I also noticed something somebody in your stream pointed out the other day about the gold and silver.
Uh huh. Hmm. Yep, yep. So it was made to me. I never had a perfume that it has my name and my call sign on it.
That's got to be an expensive perfume now.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Very expensive. There was a guy who offered me $3,000 the other day. I said, hell no.
I about spit my coffee out. Wow.
No, that was a joke. That was a joke. But yeah, the perfume smelled very good. It was very nice. Very, very, very nice.
That's great. Yeah, you never know what somebody may do for you. Hamradio is just a great community, and that reminds me is there's a local guy up the road from me, Jeff K5YVY, and I had to laugh when he tells me a story of a shortwave listener. So they'll listen in and send you cards and stuff like that, and I love getting USL reports and card requests from shortwave listeners as well. So just somewhere else that your signal was heard. But so he had a bouquet of flowers sent to him one time by a shortwave listener, and he really didn't know what to think about that. So I said he's just trying to be friendly. Don't freak out about it. But it was a funny story because this is a old country guy. He's he didn't know what to think about flowers showing up to his door.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. Well, man, I believe that will be all for the story of the first raft. So we have the second attempt on the list, and you just tell me, the day. I'm good for next Saturday around this time too, if you want.
Okay.
And yeah, any question that the guys wanted to ask right now? Um,
Yeah. Any questions, comments? Throw them up there. Ape, I just want to say one thing. The Smoking Ape, I'm very proud of you today for maintaining an adult composure in chat and being here. Enjoyed you being here.
Thank you, thank you. The Smoking Ape. Actually, the Smoking Ape was the guy who actually tell the temporarily offline that I will be able, to tell the story in the Fellow Friends YouTube channel. And hopefully one day Smoking Ape invite me to his show too, and I can tell the story as well. I know, every day because the story's in my mind. I didn't put a paper and I write down. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be the same, the same character. It's going to be me and my friends, the same names and everything. But sometimes you remember details that you say here and the other detail that you say there. You can't cover everything in 1 hour also. And but if you want me to go one day to your show, the Smoking Ape, I'll do it again. And we have plenty of things to share. Actually, before I go, I wanted to show you my antennas. Okay, let me see right here.
And Alex's story is like a good book you can just keep reading over and over. So, and anybody that's watching
Okay,
along, talking about temporarily
wait.
offline, Alex will be on his show Monday, and the link's in the description of the video. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, that is the cobweb. I used to have that antenna, the cobweb, right here in my house here in Florida, and as you know, it was a little bit higher than the other one. But you know, I just wanted to show you that. And what you're gonna see there is my shack back in Pennsylvania. So see what I had there in PA.
Yes.
You see, that was a while ago. I was Alpha Charlie 7 Hotel Uniform at the time. See that was the TS 8 480 SAT 100 watts,
Yes.
and the amplifier was the Baker and Williams 2500. Very nice tube amplifier. And see my antennas right there. On the top was the 2-element Yagi for 40 meter, the Delta India Sugar 72, the high-end one. And on the center was the 3-element Yagi for 6 meter. Actually, that 3-element Yagi is, remember that I told you my friend Charlie Oscar 7 Whiskey Tango Pavel, that we went to the school with the radio and blah, blah, blah. So that antenna, I sent it to Pavel in Cuba. He has it on his house right now. The 3-element Yagi for 6 meter.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And the one in the bottom is the Summit antenna. I was talking to the other guy on my live stream, and I said, "Well, I have one. That is the Summit antenna. It was an 8-element low periodic Yagi, a monster antenna. That was great. One of the best antenna that I ever had. Telling you, man, that antenna was perfect, beautiful. Uh, I don't think I will ever have an antenna like that one. Maybe a 3-element stepper will replace the loft that I have into that antenna. Yeah, but that is beautiful, man. I love it.
Yes.
In the headset on the Ron 25. You see, I used to be a big guy before. Before when the people listen to me over the air, they'll say, "Well, that's a big guy. That's a huge station there." But now, I have a very modest station right now.
Still a
Yeah.
big station. You got to be a big station to be a voice of Florida like that out.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you guys. I hope you enjoy the story. And this is just the first part, the first attempt. And on the second attempt, we have a lot of things to do. We were almost 4 months in Mexico in immigration to escape and cross the border in Brownsville, Texas, and everything. So there is a lot of good things to tell next time. So until next time, thank you so much, and please subscribe to Kilo 5 Yankee Victor Yankee channel. Okay?
Make sure you go get Alex's channel, and also go ahead and get that link in the description to Temporarily Offline, since he will be premiering next on that Monday evening. You can get the time and the link there in the description. Thank you, everybody, for coming by, and appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Hey, what's going on, man?